Hey guys, this is Tuesday, May 28, and we're just below 68K. And I want to talk this episode about the sucker at the poker table. And the sucker at the poker table is the $120 trillion of U.S. Treasury bonds. And this analogy isn't mine. This analogy is Luke Groman's. And I just want you guys to listen to this clip of Luke Gromen because I think he does an amazing, amazing job. So I'm going to let Luke speak here, and let's take a look at this this clip. Okay, here we go.
Of value with an energy link for the people.
What about for the still foreseeable future, that 4.5 year outlook that you have for 2030, where you have your potential anywhere from 3x to 6x to 19x gold? What does that mean for Bitcoin in that time frame?
Bitcoin, I think, probably would go up more than gold would in that scenario on higher volatility. So if gold goes up 3x, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes up, I don't know, 4, 5, 6x in that world. So I think they can both win.
But why? Why would Bitcoin be going up? You've made the case for gold with central banks, but why do you see Bitcoin even potentially outperforming gold in the scenario you've laid out?
Oh, that's simple. The $130 trillion bond market is the sucker at the card table, and it's going to figure that out. And as it figures that out, it's going to sell bonds, buy me something that holds value. And then that something that holds value will be 65 trillion of US stocks right now, 14 trillion of gold right now, 1.4 trillion of Bitcoin right now. And that process will continue until the bond selling gets so high that it forces Treasury dysfunction, or it forces rates to a point where the US government cannot afford its debt load. And then the Fed and Treasury will come in and print more money to constrain that, which will only feed back into gold, Bitcoin, stocks, the incentive of whatever's left in the $130 trillion bond market to get out into those other assets faster, wash, rinse, repeat. So there's a way in which this goes without a massive productivity miracle. That things could really feed on themselves very quickly.
Okay, so that is Luke Gromen. And just to summarize Luke's position here, we've got $130 trillion worth of treasuries. We have $65 trillion worth of U.S. stocks. We have $13 trillion of bonds, and we have $1 trillion of Bitcoin. Now, the $130 trillion of bonds is realizing very quickly that it is losing money in terms of real purchasing power at 5% per year, even with 5% interest rates. And it is looking for something that doesn't lose value at 5% per year. So that money is going into stocks, into gold, and into Bitcoin. Now, stocks are the biggest, so if it goes into stocks, it's going to move them up a little bit. Gold is less, so it can move more, and Bitcoin is by far the less, so it can move the most. So Groman's base case for the next 4 years. The next 6 years is, gold goes up 3, 6, 8, 19 times, that's those to quote him, and Bitcoin goes up twice that. So I really agree with that, and I think it's that simple. I think it really is literally big money sitting there going, oops, I made the wrong trade. I was just in bonds, and I need to move out of bonds, and I need to move into something that's not going to lose its value. I really think that's what's involved. And listen, I was a professional bond trader at Solomon Brothers and Greenwich Capital for 6 years. I know the bond market. I followed the bond market for 30 years. At the end of the day, bonds have no value right now, and even at 5% interest rates, they're not the place you want to be parking your money. You can park your money in treasury bills if you want to hide out for a little bit. But putting your money in long-term government bonds is insane at this point. And I think Groman's right. I think eventually they're going to be forced to raise rates and print money at the same time, and it's not a great scenario. And there's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's only 1.3 trillion dollars worth of Bitcoin to get right now, and as that money moves away from bonds into Bitcoin, Bitcoin will be the most highest performing asset of class of the three. And that is that simple. So I urge you guys to follow and watch the full video of Michelle from Kitko and Luke Groman. Great video. If you don't follow Luke, follow him and buy Bitcoin. Thanks.